Material science testing, going from plastic to aluminum to zinc about it, to other materials such as steels. Let's talk about the grades of steels. Yes, I know today has to be a bad day, every day is a bad day, but I'm going to continue doing these because I'm dumping a bunch of data about materials science, not what you think. So let me hit the word wrap button to make sure it's active. Okay. Society of Automotive Engineers SAE. It's not just for nuts and bolts and socket wrenches. 41XX grade. That could be 4150, 4160, whatever. Chromium molybdenum steel, otherwise known as chromoly, chromoly, CRMO, CRMoly. Chrome alloy is also a name it's given. None of these are actually incorrect. They require thermal treatment before and then after welding to avoid cold cracking, and then can be case hardened. These metals, because of the tiny extra elements put into the iron, are able to have very different characteristics, but they all have one characteristic in this variety, referred to as 41XX. They are capable of having extremely strong, high strength weight ratios. They don't have to be thickened up as much. Standard Schedule 40, Schedule 80, and Schedule 120 tubular steel is almost invariable. When you look up the numbers, they almost always match up with the PSI rating. This is not the same thing. The number at the end of 41X is actually the carbon percentage. What high or low carbon steel. When you do Schedule 80 versus Schedule 40, 80 will be about twice as thick on the outside wall. So, because the wall thickness is different, the inner diameter is used as the standard. Same with this stuff, but, well, here we go. This type of tubing can be used for pressurized gas transportation bottles. Those are the containers you see on a truck that are carrying acetylene gas or whatever. Also air, whatever. Aircraft grade and building structural grade tubing can be made from it. Automotive roll cage material. Clutch and flywheel components. Bicycle frames. And other tubular parts. The last two digits of the SAE specification number in this category and most others may refer to the alloy's composition content of the specific thing they're talking about, in this case carbon, in hundredths of a percent. So if it says 40, that's 4 hundredths of a percent, or 0.4%. 4150 hot rolled annealed 90 to 96 Rockwell hardness gun barrel steel is 0.8 to 1.1 chrome percentage, 0.15 to 0.25% molybdenum, 0.48 to 0.53, indicating maximum carbon content, and 0.75 to 1% manganese. This results in the following: 65,000 to 75,000 psi yield strength and tensile strength of 90 to 110 psi. Cold drawn normalized 4130 90 to 96 Rockwell hardness ordnance grade steel is 0.8 to 1.1% chrome, 0.15 to 0.25 molybdenum, 0.2 to 0.33 carbon instead of 0.48, so the only thing so far as changes the carbon, and 0.4 to 0.6% manganese instead of the 0.7 to 1% manganese. So it's less manganese and less carbon, more iron, giving a 70,000 to 85,000 psi rating for yield strength, and 85,000 to 110,000 psi tensile strength. A $35 bicycle seat stay tube, 22 inches long, or 560 millimeters long, and 18 millimeter inner diameter, has a 65,000 psi tensile strength, maxing out at 87,000 psi in the range of it. It is not the same grade of material necessarily. And the frame of the bike tubing, when you buy the parts, will have different ratings as well. Bicycle tubing is literally aircraft or building grade tubing. It just doesn't require as much impact. See also bigger bike tubes versus tougher bike tubes found on older bicycles that are chromoly frames, and also ultralight bikes that are fixies. And they have 0.5 millimeter to or 0.197 inch wall thicknesses just for this, and that's 87,000 psi down to 65,000 psi tensile strength only. Doesn't refer to burst strength, yield strength, or failure strength. Bicycle tubing. See also 26-inch bicycle standard, referring to wheel size and at least one component of the frame. Steel tubing for DIY building comes in many sizes for $35 or lower in most pieces, depending on the company. Frame tubings work out at 1 inch internal diameter, 1 1/8 inch, 1 1/4, 1 3/8, and 1 1/2 and 1 7/8 inch. And because of the grade of the metal, the walls are thinner. And again, your bicycle seat stay tube, 22 inches long, is an 18-inch internal diameter. Averaging on all of these, you get 0.63 inches and 18.5 millimeter. Between 18 millimeter and 20 millimeter standard is 0.71 to 0.79 inches for other parts of the frame, down tubes and that sort of thing. And 26 inches or 660.4 millimeters long, and 18 inches for other length pieces of steel tubing, 457.2 millimeters long. Steerer tubes are 21.5 to 53 millimeter or 0.83 inches up to 2.25 inches. Less than 460 millimeters or 18 inches long. Outer diameter frame versus stem inner diameter matches perfectly to make two pieces that will slide into each other. But then again, this is the steerer tube, which only has an exterior casing that can be this big. However, you can get ultra long steer tubes for use for frame bikes that are built DIY and custom. The tubing is available. And again, the tubing that goes into it, the handlebar tube for the gooseneck, fits on purpose into it very tightly. See also shock absorber bicycle front forks. And again, the down tube for seat also has similar fittings. The interior pipe on that is not as tough. Mix and match required if you want to make an ultra tough bicycle yourself. Again, you can weld them. You need to heat treat them before and after, but there are welding methods involving TIG welding where you can get away with not doing it. You'd have to look up a tutorial how to weld a bicycle. The outer diameter stem clamping area of a handlebar is rated in millimeters and inches, listing below. Mountain bike ones, however, can go up to 1.2 inches, but they go all the way down to 7/8 inch BMX 22.5 millimeter stem and lever grip neck down for mountain bike and city bikes. See also junk pile at your local bicycle repair shop. This has been your cross-reference guide to aircraft, automotive, and building grade steel tubing, chromoly format that is used for dozens of different purposes and at different price tags, and that the strength to weight ratio is extremely high regardless of the usage, because bicycles, depending on how high you jump and whether or not you can do an ollie on it, or whatever other skateboard term I'm going to throw in here for fun, determines the strength of the tubing, not its purpose. See also DIY bikes and repair shops, as well as busted bikes on the side of the road. See also pipe cutter, a simple tool for a not so simple problem.